Okay, students, now our topic is right to property, Article 300A. So, this Article 300A added to the Constitution by 44th Amendment 1978. So, with this what happened? Right to property as a fundamental right deleted from the Constitution. We have actually in original Constitution 7 freedoms under Article 19, in which Article 19 F deleted means right to property is no more fundamental right. So we have added Article 300A with 44th Amendment. So this particular topic, right to property, is very important in the context of recent trends regarding acquisition of property by the government for public purpose. So, for that reason, this topic otherwise called as eminent domain. Eminent domain. So, here what happened? This 39A provides that no person shall be deprived of his property save by authority of law. No person deprived his authority. Okay. So, what is happening after this 300A? The only condition to be complied with all it for the acquisition of private property under 300A is a law of the legislator, the purpose for which the property will be taken away or whether any compensation will be paid, both okay. So, what happened? 300A, why it is important? Now the government is taking property, especially the land, for public purpose. So, government has right to do so. Government right is called as eminent domain. For public purpose, government can take private property. So, important thing is that it has to be done in accordance with the law. Law passed by the legislator, first point. Second, reasonable compensation has to be paid. For the present rents, government is paying compensation when the property is taken for public purpose. Because without that we can't construct railways, we can't construct projects, we cannot construct roads. So it's very difficult to do all these things without taking public property for public purpose. So here government has right. Government has right to take private property only for public purpose. Government has no right to take a property for only for the public purpose. With the law, government can take a private property. So this is called eminent domain. So if you look at the meaning of eminent domain, what it is saying, every government has an inherent right to take and appropriate the private property belonging to individual citizen for public use. Okay, this power is known as eminent domain. So here we have two maxims from which this principle have come. The first one is eminent domain, solus populi est suprema lex. Solus, S-A-L-U-S, solus, populi, P-O-P-U-L-I, next E-S-T, S-U-P-R-E-M-A, suprema lex, which means that the welfare of the people or the public is the paramount law, and also on the maxim, the next maxim is necessita public major est quam, means Necessita public, P-U-B-L-I-C, major, M-A-J-O-R, next E-S-T, Q-U-A-M, which means public necessity is greater than private. So, from these two maxims, what we have learned, it is a paramount, public interest is paramount paramount interest. For the means the public purpose is important than private individual's right. At the same time, The next maximum, what it's saying? Public necessity. So here the property may be can be going to acquire for different purposes, projects, railways, canals, roads. So without which you cannot have development without taking private property. So in the original constitution, we have Article 19(1)(f). That is deleted. Why it is deleted? So if property is fundamental right, what happened? It is very difficult to acquire the property. This is what we have discussed in 31A, B, C also. If you go through the scheme of articles 30, 31, which why their amendments were made when we had discussed about this public property, and we had discussed about agrarian reforms, we had discussed about 9th schedule for agrarian reforms. So here what happened in all these cases? In all these cases, government action cannot be challenged on the violation of fundamental rights, Article 14 and 15, which we have discussed in 31A, B and C. So here what happened? If it is a fundamental right, it is very difficult to acquire land. Without acquiring land, without acquiring private property, it is very difficult to have a welfare society. If the property is in the hands of few people, if property is concentrated in the hands of few people, it is very difficult to implement even the agrarian reforms. So that is the reason why we have Land Ceiling Act. So for that reason, what happened? This property is deleted and the right is recognized. Under Article 300A, it is now constitutional or legal right, means it will be protected like any other ordinary right, not like fundamental right. So now what happened here? That is, see, the same we have discussed in Article 31A, B, C. What are the reasons behind passing having 31B and C? Same 300A is created. So here what happened? The reasonable compensation has to be paid. Okay. So now government is taking land for public purpose. Now you have so many cases in Telangana government also acquiring lands for Malana Sagar and other projects where the people have filed petitions. So here what court is going to see when property is acquired and what is the protection available under Article 300A. So here in Article 31 and 300, you will find the same concept of eminent domain in United States of America also. We have cases in Portland where the land is acquired by the government, where the government won the case. It is a mechanical, there are companies, automobile companies in Portland where they have acquired lands. So here what is happening? What are the conditions in America for acquiring private property? In American Constitution, the first one is there must be a law authorizes the taken property. Second one is the property must be taken for public purpose. Third one is just compensation should be paid. These three are expressly mentioned in American Constitution. So land has to be taken for public purpose. For private purpose, you cannot say. You cannot take land. The second one is reasonable compensation has to be paid with the sanction of law. With only executive action, you can't do that. So law is the meaning as we had discussed in Article 13. So if these three are complied, that is valid in America. That law is valid in America. So public purpose. Now after looking at American Constitution, if you compare the same provision in Indian Constitution 301, only one thing they have mentioned, that is law, authorized law, that you have to acquire land. And what happened in this case? The question is, in Article 31 is having similar conditions. Article 31, they have mentioned about public purpose, compensation and everything. When it comes to 300, they have not mentioned. Does it mean government can take property without giving reasonable and fair compensation? Though, because it is not mentioned, since it is not mentioned in 300A. Question. Question is, so here what happened? Later judgments, what Supreme Court said, it is implicit in 300A, government has to pay reasonable compensation. Now you can see, you can look at the recent Land Acquisition Act and land have they taken, and you can take the case of Polavaram project where they have vacated so many villages where the people have been avoided with compensation and rehabilitation. So without that you can't impose this particular law under 300A. But if you look at the provision that is not expressly mentioned in 300A, though it is not mentioned, but Supreme Court said in later judgments, it is implicit in the 300A, you have to pay reasonable compensation. So we have one case to understand this, that is KT Plantation Private Limited versus State of Karnataka. KT Plantation versus State of Karnataka. AR 2011, Supreme Court 3430. AR 2011, Supreme Court 3430. What Supreme Court said, the requirement of public purpose is invariably the rule when a person deprived of his property, principle of eminent domain requiring compensation is not seen incorporated in Article 300A as it is in Article 3 subclause 1A as well as in second provision of Article 31A, although it can be inferred in Article 300A after deletion of Article 31(2), the question whether there is a requirement of compensation to be paid a person deprived of his property, the compensation or its elusiveness has to be justified by the state on judicially justiciable standards. Measures designed to achieve greater social justice may call for lesser unconstitutional or constitutional. The right to claim compensation or obligation to pay justified to stand on justiciable grounds. What the court says in this case, though it is not mentioned in Article 300A, but it is implicit, government has to pay compensation. So just because it was not mentioned in there, because here, though it is not a fundamental right under Constitution, but it is recognized as a human right. Paying compensation to deprived person is recognized as basic human right, without which you cannot acquire the property. You have to show him reasonable compensation. That is what the governments are paying now. The governments are not denying rehabilitation and compensation, because though it is not mentioned in 300A, because if you read 300A, you will not find that provision. You may have a doubt. It is not there. Why government need to pay the compensation? But it is implicit because it is recognized as a basic human right. Though it is deleted from fundamental rights, right to property, it is recognized as a basic human right because it is supported by as like an ordinary right or constitutional right. Okay. So here Article 300A does not make the law depriving a person of his property immune from challenge of the violation of Article 14 and 21. However, acquisition of property for public purpose may be deprivation of livelihood leading to the violation of Article 21, but that per se it is not ground to struck down with a statutory provision. A constitutional court is not powerless when it confronts with the rule of law, while as the status of basic structure of the Constitution exists that. So what you have to remember is, when we discussed about 3130 law, certain laws are immune from 14 and 21. That is not mentioned here, but they have been recognized as a basic human right. So here what we have to understand is, since it is deleted from Fundamental Right chapter under Article 19, the persons are not immune from challenging for their basic human rights, if at all there is a violation in the procedure. So here what is happening? Compensation, justified compensation, indirectly recognized by the courts, and even now the governments are following it. simply you cannot take away the property of individual with the help of law, because since even though it is a law mentioned and it is recognized as a basic human right that has to be protected by the government. So 300A, just because it is deleted from fundamental right chapter, you cannot say there is no liability on the part of the government to pay compensation, that too just, fair and reasonable. Because these words you will find under Article 21. So Article 21 is coming in the way of protecting the rights of deprived citizens, those who are losing property. So another thing is, if you look at the meaning of the property, so Article 31, the Supreme Court said that should be given a liberal meaning and should be extended to all those recognized types of interest which have all the insignia or characteristic of property rights. So here what happened? Expression property extended to all rights means corporal, incorporeal property rights, means tangible, intangible, even copyrights and other things. Okay. So allowed license, mortgage, lessee property, maintenance of Hindu temple and shareholders' interest of the company are recognizable interest in property, the right to receive mentioned property also. So these are all recognized as property in this concept. Not only the land. So in the beginning of the post-independence period, our property means only land. Now so many concepts have joined, including our intangible properties like copyrights, patents, and your pension is also a property, is recognized. So what happens if you look at pension? Suppose pension, the people will get pension after retirement for the services rendered by them. So it is hard-earned money of a person, so that is treated as property. So what happens? Pension and gratuities are not bounded to distributed by the government to its employee on their retirement, but are valuable right of and property, and any delay in settlement of payment thereof must be visited with the penalty of payment of interest at the current market. So court recognizes it is also a property. Pension means property because you are getting pension because of the services rendered by you. So if you look at one case law, State of Jharkhand versus Jitendra Kumar Srivastava, State of Jharkhand versus Jitendra Kumar Srivastava, AR 2013, Supreme Court 3383, Supreme Court 3383. So what Supreme Court said in this case? The pension is odd-earned benefit which accrues to an employee and in the nature of property which cannot be taken away without due process of law as per the provisions of Article 300A of Constitution. So even executive instruction, by an executive instruction or circular, even a part of pension could not be withheld in the absence of any provisions in the statutory rules. So what we have to remember here, it is hard-earned money, pension, that is treated as a property without due process. You cannot withhold the pension. So here it is recognized as a property. So when it comes to this provision 300, now if you look at Article 31A, 31 clause 1, provided that no person shall be deprived of his property except by authority of law. Okay? This means the state had authority to take away property of an individual, but it could be done only by authority of law. So here Article 300 law usually makes clear that depriving of the property only by authority of law or an act of parliament or state legislature and other provisions. So if you look at one case, Wazir Chand versus State of Himachal Pradesh. Wazir Chand, AR 1954, Supreme Court 415, Wazir Chand versus State of Himachal Pradesh. It was held that illegal seizure of goods in possession of the petitioner in India under no authority of law at the instance of Jammu and Kashmir police was clearly infringement of fundamental rights under Article 31.1. The protection of Article 31 extended to citizens. Okay. So, with the advancement of time, now we are recognizing so many things as property. So, in the beginning it is only land. Now, we are treating all other properties in the category of property. So, this protection of Article 31 is extended to citizens as well as aliens. But Article 31, Clause 1 was not attracted where a person deprived of his property by action of another private person. So, this is not what we are discussing is the right to property. It is in between state and individual. It is not going to apply to a private individual. So, the next one is this new Article 300A lays down similar conditions for taking away the private property of an individual. A person can be deprived of his property. So, Article 21 has little to do with the right to own property. So, we have discussed about Article 21 when it comes to livelihood. There is one case, State of Maharashtra versus Basanti Bai Mohanlal Khaitan. In this case, what Supreme Court said? Article 21 essentially deals with the personal liberty, but as little to do with the right of own property as which the land ceiling has the laws providing for acquisition of land, for providing housing, accommodation and laws of imposing ceiling on urban property cannot be struck down by invoking Article 21. Simply, this is what we have discussed. So, this particular can be struck down. Law can be on the ground of violation of Article 21, but we have discussed. They are not going to struck down, but they will recognize the basic human right, like giving compensation. So, the state has to be paid compensation to provide rehabilitation. That can be protected by court. The court limit is to protect the fair and reasonable compensation right, but it cannot struck down the law in the name of violation of Article 21, because 21 is little to do with this, because once the property is taken, definitely that is going to take away the livelihood of the person. At the same time, what happened? What government is supposed to do? They have to provide rehabilitation by invoking. So, here invoking this jurisprudence means right to life 21 has to little do with this, means it cannot struck down that law saying that it is violating fundamental right Article 21. It has to little do with. So, you have discussed these cases in right to life, Volga Telli's case and payment dwellers case. What Supreme Court said? They have asked them to vacate footpath. But what they said? It is the duty of the government to provide livelihood. They have recognized their basic right, livelihood. At the same time, they have not struck down the law which is asking the people, these payment dwellers, to vacate in the interest of public purpose. They have to vacate. But what it said, this is the best example. What Supreme Court said in this case? You have to provide alternative to them. You have to provide alternative. That is what happening today in so many construction projects. What Supreme Court is saying? Supreme Court is looking and applying the jurisprudence, human rights jurisprudence, because without acquiring private property, it is very difficult to have development. Same in the case, if you look at nowadays what is happening, the government is acquiring land for private companies, saying that here they are acquiring, suppose like Wipro, TCS and other multinational IBM, they are allotting economic cells, and they are allotting land, saying that it is also for public purpose. What is the public purpose here? Providing employment. Public purpose means providing employment and getting taxes. Once the land is allotted, they will provide employment to the local people and they will get taxes. There is involvement of public purpose. Simply because private company is asking for allotment land, they are not going to give. But what they are doing? They are providing land for public purpose. What is the public purpose means here? Public purpose means what? Giving employment. So nowadays in globalization, it's very difficult to run the government without the acquiring private property. You have in Hyderabad, we have outer ring road, other constructions, and there are big projects, government projects. I'm not talking about private projects. They require land. Government is having land, and you have now the construction of projects. They are acquiring land. But what we have to do, you cannot say government should not acquire land, but government has to pay reasonable compensation. That is what you have Polavaram project. The total cost and total cost 30,000 means 50% of the money is going to pay for rehabilitation to those who have been lost their rehabilitation. They have been providing rehabilitation to the 50% of the land project cost going to rehabilitation. So that is what government is looking at. They are treating it as a human right when it comes to rehabilitation and resettlement. But they are not going to struck down a law which pauses to acquire property, deprivation of taking of property on the ground of Article 21. So if you look, okay, the next one is the acquisition of land does not violate any constitutional fundamental right of the displaced persons, but they are entitled to rehabilitation and resettlement as per the policy framed for the purpose of concerned projects. So what we have to remember from this case is very important case, Narmada Bachao Andolan case. You all know about this Narmada Bachao Andolan case. Narmada Bachao Andolan case. Narmada Bachao Andolan was a state of MP, AR 2011, Supreme Court 1989. In this case, that is what Supreme Court said. What Supreme Court said in this case is clearly explains what Supreme Court said. Acquisition of land does not violate any constitutional fundamental rights of displaced persons. But what? They are entitled to rehabilitation and resettlement as per the policy framed for the outskirts of the concerned project. That is what Narmada Bachao, that is what happened in Polavaram project. So you cannot struck down law when land is required to the government for the purpose, for the public purpose. In this case also, this is a very famous case. In this case, what happened in Supreme Court? And Arundhati Roy, Medha Patkar, all these people have fought on behalf of these people who have been displaced. So what we have to remember in this particular judgment, what I read, it is not fundamental right, but at the same time, it is the duty of the state to see whether these people have been provided rehabilitation or not, because the second part, this is recognized as human right. So, after going through this Article 300A, because it is very famous, now all the disputes are arising regarding the acquisition of property for land, constructions, railways, and whatever it may be. The problem is, people have been losing their livelihood. At the same time, whether it is coming into the purview of Article 21, means fundamental rights. But Supreme Court clarified, said that rehabilitation and resettlement of the people who have been displaced is a very important issue. Only by doing that, you can go for construction of any dam or project. So though it is not recognized as a fundamental right, but they have been applying human rights jurisprudence when it comes to the people who have been displaced. So it is, as we discussed in American Constitution, a provision regarding just fair and compensation, though it is not expressly mentioned in Article 300A, but the Supreme Court have been awarding compensation. Now the Supreme Court judgments and guidelines are very important while constructing projects, because they have been taking it into consideration and they are providing rehabilitation and fair compensation to those who have been misplaced. This is not only the construction of projects, even roads and in clearance of slums when the people have been displaced. The government is providing, the government is supposed to pay the reasonable compensation. You have a right to challenge it in the High Court. So what is it indicating now? Even the last case, which Narmada Bachava Anand case, if you look at the judgment, same what it is saying, though it is not a fundamental right, that is recognized as a human right. So once it is recognized as human rights, government has to take care of interest those who have been misplaced. That is what we have been doing now. So here, what we have to understand when it comes to acquisition of property, because you may have your own property, you may have odd property which earned with your hard work, but when government required for public purpose, it can take. At the same time, the government is going to take care of your interest. Means government is going to pay just fair and reasonable compensation. This is the law we have when it comes to right to property under Article 300A. That is otherwise known as eminent domain. Eminent domain means the power of the government to acquire private property for public purpose. So with this, we are concluding this particular area. Eminent domain, you may have questions on this eminent domain, in which you have to supposed to mention the case laws which I have discussed, recent cases, and you can cite the instances what is happening around you in Telangana or other states. So this is now big problem. You have passed land acquisition act also, where the government is providing rehabilitation. You can mention Polavaram project. So, and the government is acquiring land and allotting that land to private schedule also, because even that allotting to private schedule, if it is going to provide employment, that also come under the meaning of public purpose. With this, we are concluding this article, right to property, otherwise known as eminent domain. Tomorrow we are going to meet another topic.